All right, I think we're rolling. I'm going to go ahead and get into it. My name is Parker Pemberton, Pemberton Homes at eXp Realty, and I'm going to be taking you through our marketing plan. I'm going to go ahead and screen share. This is a PDF that I can get through in typically 15 to 20 minutes, and I always welcome questions afterwards, whether you want to email them or give me a quick call, no problem at all. Let's go ahead and jump into it. All right, so in our listing and marketing plan, we're going to start off. I want to just highlight the things that we're going to discuss. We're going to talk about our team, about us, a little bit about myself. We're going to talk about the market. We're going to talk about marketing, of course, timing, pricing, and communication. I will likely accelerate through the current market conditions, considering we will most likely do that in person. And when we're picking out a price, I want to definitely talk about where we're at with our market, what you guys can expect, and how to select a price around our current market. So to start, just want to right off the bat tell you that your goal is our goal. And really what we're trying to do is we're trying to sell your house at the highest price with the best terms within 30 days or less. And not every price bracket is going to apply to this statement. But if we can sell homes in 30 days or less, it means we have a strong pricing strategy. We have very strong marketing. We're able to get enough people into the home that's gonna warrant a lot of demand and attention. And most likely what's gonna happen is you're gonna get a solid offer with the terms that you're looking for. So that is our goal. It's not always just about price, it's very much about terms as well. Our team was formed by Steve, who is my father. We're business partners. 40 years ago, and really we started taking this team concept to the next level in 2015. When Steve and I decided to start building our team, we said we need to build our team similar to a dentist office or a professional services office. We have to have a specialist for every area of the transaction, and that is our goal because we want to be able to provide an outstanding experience for all of our clients, whether buying, selling, investing, or renting. So Steve and I run the team. We have at this current time 12 agents that work with us on our team. They vary from experience level, but nobody is brand new. Typically, we require somebody that has at least 3 to 4 years of experience before they join our team. And the reason being is we want somebody who understands the industry, what it takes to make it in this industry, and to have some sales experience before coming in. We have a very strong operations team, and this is something that I'm very proud of because Liz, Jackie, and Kristen have been with us for all at least a year. We continue to add more staff as we grow, but the important part is these guys love our team. We love them. And I think you're going to really be able to see that throughout the transaction, throughout your communication with them. And they really are here to assist us and you. If you need anything at all, big or small, you can always contact Liz, Jackie, or Kristen. And typically they're going to respond to you within just a few minutes on most platforms. Liz is a licensed real estate attorney. She's also our operations manager. We got really lucky with Liz. She wanted to be closer with her family. She has 2 young daughters, and driving to Minneapolis and commuting all day, every day was becoming a problem and getting in the way of her being a mom to her children. So we got really lucky. We have legitimately, Liz is a licensed attorney and she specializes in real estate law. So all of our clients have access to her, whether it's in the transaction or whether it's 5 years down the line after we close the house. Jackie is my assistant. She's really good on the technical side. Some of the things that you're going to hear me talk about on the internet are complicated, and she's able to understand that and help me with all of our systems that we've set up and really push our marketing out there to every single platform that I'm going to talk about. And Kristen is our bulldog. She's our team transaction coordinator. So she does all the paperwork and she makes sure that all of the deadlines are met. She's actually never missed a deadline since she's been employed with us. She is going to be your number one source or number one contact point, from contract to close. Kristen coordinates everything. She's very important to us, and I think you're really going to like her. Our team, when we started in 2015, we were one of the top teams in the area, selling 80 homes a year, which is a lot of real estate and a lot of families to help. But as we scaled our team and our company, we decided that we need to bring on more people, more specialists to have a bigger reach. And so we've scaled our business from 80 homes to upwards to, we'll sell somewhere in the 325 to 350 range this year in 2019. And it's important to me because I'm proud of our progress and our accomplishments. And I also think that any successful business should be growing by at least 20 to 25% each year, which we've been doing. So I'm very proud of that. We are the number one real estate team south of the river, and we are the top team at our company south of the river. So very proud of that too. In 2018, quick statistic, we took 100 listings and we sold 99 of them. That is a fact, and we're very proud of that too. We have a system, and we use our system whether it's a $50,000 condo, which we sold last year, or a $3 million house on the St. Croix, which we sold last year, 2 years ago actually. We have the exact same process, no matter the price point, no matter what kind of home it is. And the reason we're able to do that is we're able to replicate a very successful system, one that I'm about to discuss with you. The difference between us is, I don't know if you knew this, the average real estate agent sells between 4 and 6 houses a year, and that's a national statistic. What this means is that you're getting us with a tremendous amount more experience and capabilities on a marketing side and advertising side than what the average agent's going to do. Like I mentioned in the previous slide, we sold 99% of our listings. We're the number one team at Coldwell Banker. We spend on average $2,500 per listing, and that's not an exaggeration, whereas the average agent spends as little as possible to keep their overhead as low as possible. If you think about it, if an agent sells 4 homes a year, your home is going to be 1/4 of their income. So we're able to do some things because of our volume and our size that we've earned through the years, and it's been able to project us into a new quartile of real estate agents and real estate businesses, and it's one that we're really, really proud of. I'm going to kind of go through the market quicker than what I normally would, but we saw a peak last year, right around May of 2018. For the last decade, this was the highest point of our market. We've regressed just slightly in all price points. Certain price points are still very, very hot, but it's important to know that we are not on such a strong upward climb anymore. And it's not a bad thing. It's a good thing for the real estate industry. But we have to take that into account when we're talking about pricing and timing and strategy. One of the best things right now as a buyer or a seller is that interest rates are extremely low still. Right now, as I film this, we're at about 4.5%. And historically, that's the lowest it's almost ever been. We touched the 3s a few years ago, but we're really not seeing that anymore, and I don't think we're going to go back there. So what this means for you as a seller, you're getting buyers, you're getting a lot more buyers who qualify for mortgages. And as a buyer, your affordability factor is still very, very good. If we see this go to 6, 7, 8%, we're going to see that the real estate market is going to change quite a bit. Other positive impacts on the sale or purchase of a home, the economy is still very strong with low unemployment. And today's buyer is much smarter with more tools at their disposal, such as Zillow and just all the online portals. So we're going to talk about that a little bit later too. My dog just walked in here. Bernie, lay down. Lay down. Average days on market is technically going up right now. We do see this trend to the season. In Minnesota, it obviously snows and gets really cold. So during certain times of the year, we're going to see houses sit on the market for longer. And other times, like the one we're in right now, entering the spring market, we're going to see homes actually sell quicker than the yearly average. Excuse me. One of the things we always talk about in timing is the first 3 weeks, and the first 3 weeks is really the greatest opportunity that you get for a first impression on new buyers. The reason being is that in the first 3 weeks, all buyers out there see you as a new listing. It's a hot commodity. There's a demand there, and we're going to get people who are going to be offering you closer to asking price or above asking price because of that demand. I like to refer to it as the Nordstrom shoppers. People who are willing to pay full price for something. When we get past the 3rd week into the 4th week and beyond, we do see showings dip considerably across all price points. What buyers are going to start to do is they're going to start to look at your house as a bargain. They're going to start making you lowball offers with poor terms, and something's going to have to change. Typically, it comes down to price, or it comes down to presentation, which is the condition of the home or how it shows to the buyer. One thing we're going to discuss in person is the absorption rate, which is the rate at which available homes are sold in a specific real estate market. In most of our markets in Minnesota right now, we're sitting between 1 and 6 months. On the high end, 6 months would be for listings that are 800,000 and above. 1 to 3 months is closer to our $200,000 to $400,000 price point. We look at this because if no new homes came on the market, this is the amount of time it would take for the active inventory to sell, which is really important. All right, our marketing strategy comes down to 3 main components: traditional, digital, and social. And we embrace changes that are coming with the internet and with technology, and we also embrace some of the old things that have stood the test of time and that still work. And we've put our own twist on it. One of the things that I really recommend and I like to do with every listing is a coming soon campaign. And I always tell our sellers, we are proactive marketers, not reactive marketers. Proactively trying to find buyers, trying to put the home in every single situation where somebody might be looking for a home, rather than the 3 Ps, which is put it on the market, or put a sign in the ground, put it on the MLS, and pray, which is what a lot of the realtors are doing in such an up market like we have right now. If you have any questions about this, please reach out to me and ask me. But we're really serious about trying to be marketers of our listings. I think it's been lost, and I think that as listing agents, our main goal is to have your home every single place that a buyer is going to be looking. And I'll touch on that in just a second. So with traditional marketing, what we're going to be looking at is we're going to be looking at things like staging. If the interior of your home is not set up to the way that a buyer is going to want to see it, we're going to recommend that we bring in furniture or we change decorations. Same goes for decluttering and cleaning. We do aerial photography. Now with every listing, if you live near the airport, we're actually forbidden to do so. So we have some limitations there. We do hold open houses. Our recommendation is 2 open houses the first weekend we go on the market. We hired the best professional photographers out there, or professional photographers, excuse me. We send out postcards to the neighborhood. So what we do is we draw a radius around your house and we send just listed postcards and sometimes coming soon postcards to all of the neighbors, inviting them to let us know if they have somebody that might be a good fit for the neighborhood and somebody who might be a candidate to buy your house. Again, it comes down to exposure. The more people we're able to notify about your house being for sale, the better it's going to be for you. And a lot of these people might not actively be looking for homes. So when they receive postcards, they're instantly notified. One of the things that we do that's different than other listing companies is that we have a complimentary staging and interior design appointment. We have a staff member who will come out to your house for an hour-long appointment. She'll go through your house with you and work with you to use the current things that you have and reorganize them to best fit a buyer's eye. And it's not required. It's not forceful by any means, but Susie comes in and she'll tell you exactly how your house lays out to its best. And then what she'll do is she'll send you a full PDF report of that meeting so that you can work on things as we're getting the house ready for the market. If there are certain rooms that need furniture and we need to fill rooms, she'll bring in furniture as well. That's a cost that we pay for on our end. The reason being is that 40% of buyers are more willing to walk through a staged home they saw online than a vacant home. And you probably know what I'm talking about. There's a lot of houses out there that just have these big open rooms. All you can see is the floors and the walls. And then when they get into the house, it's a lot harder for them to envision them living in the house. So I hardly ever will take a vacant listing. And actually in 2018, I didn't take a vacant listing. Sometimes we do a little staging, sometimes we do a lot of staging, but it's the way that we can make your home look its best online in all of the photos. And then when the buyer gets to your house, it's followed up with a pleasant experience at your house as well, which is really important. We'll have professional brochures and flyers made for your property. We'll display them at your house so people that want to take that with them and remember your home as a marketing piece will be able to do so. We also have all of our information on there so people can easily get in touch with us if they have interest in your house. The next, kind of the second leg of our marketing campaign is digital marketing. And digital is extremely important. The reason being is we don't know where your buyer is going to come from. The person that buys your home could be from Florida, they could be from Michigan, they could be from the UK. I've sold houses on Skype and Zoom to people from other countries, literally, that found the house on one of our various websites that we market on. We got in touch and then I walked them through on a Skype call. So it's very interesting. It could be somebody local, it could be somebody national, but we have to ensure that your house is going to be on every single website that includes listings, that includes real estate listings. I've probably mentioned this before, but I sit on the board at Zillow. I'm a part of the advisory board. I'm one of 25 people nationally that sits on the advisory board. I'm also the youngest by 10 years, so I'm quite proud of that. What it does is it allows me to see ahead of everybody else. I can see the trends that are coming. I can see the changes in internet marketing. I can see, big data, which is really important because they spend millions and millions of dollars on their data, being the #1 real estate company in the world. So the big five are really Homes.com, Nextdoor, which is a sneaky one because not a lot of people know about it yet, even though it's valued at over $1 billion. Realtor.com, Zillow, of course, and Trulia, which Zillow acquired. I think it was 2009. But the big thing is you go on these sites, you're going to see your house. And this is where 95% of the people are looking. We also have premier agent status on all these sites, which is important because if somebody inquires in your house, they're going to inquire with a premier agent. It's an advertiser's place that we spend money to be on so that we're collecting the inquiries for the home. The reason this is important to you is that if they were to go to somebody else, that somebody else isn't going to know your home like we know your home. They don't know the measurements. They don't know the things that you've done to it. They don't know your story. We're able to sell your home a lot better and stronger to these people because we know your story. So we've positioned ourselves on these four right here. Homes.com doesn't have that element, but there's another element to it. And we want to be there. We want to be the ones getting the phone calls. We want to be the ones talking to the potential buyers about your house, not having it get deflected to some other real estate agent that just doesn't know your house or doesn't know the area. A couple more components, MLS IDX syndication, which is the form of how we share your listing with everybody. It's through MLS syndication through a company called ListHub. I will send, I guess I consider this digital marketing, but we send your property out when we're ready to list it. We send it out to all of the real estate agents in the community to notify them that we have a new listing coming, which is important because real estate agents have buyers and buyers want to know about new listings coming soon. It's a really simple thing that a lot of realtors neglect because they feel like when it goes on MLS that they're going to know about it anyway. But we want to get them before you on MLS because we want to create that attention and that buzz. We also do a lot of website retargeting, and I'll talk about that later. It's kind of like what Amazon does with how they track you around the internet. Okay, being at Zillow, I'm able to see and get Zillow's take on how real estate websites work to the fullest, how a buyer wants to scroll through houses. If you go on our website right now, you'll notice that it's very easy to scroll on a mobile or a tablet, where 95% of our buyers out there right now are looking. Very rarely are people actually looking on a desktop anymore. So we have a very mobile-friendly site. We make it extremely easy to request information or schedule a showing. And right now in our database, we have 10,000 people, 10,000 qualified, well, sometimes not qualified, but mostly qualified home shoppers who are looking at properties. So the second we list a house, we also blast it out to those people too, just even more so, creating more exposure, getting more eyeballs on the property, getting more attention. All right, I talked about our professional photographers, but it's really important to see it and see the difference. A lot of agents are going to take photos themselves, which in my opinion is absolutely unacceptable. I have an iPhone X, right? Great camera, fantastic device. The problem is that the iPhone X is not professional photography, and it's not professionally edited either. So on the left here, you can see I took this photo last winter. It's a decent photo, but professional photography is going to be able to open it up to get the whole house in the frame. This was taken one day later. They're able to edit the background, the sky, so you have a more pleasant looking picture, especially a cover photo. Inside, you can see a huge difference here. Very quality photo on the left, but the right side just really opens the room. It's way lighter, way brighter. Fantastic photo on the right. On the left, iPhone X. On the right, our photographers. You know, another reason why this is so important is because you get about 3 seconds to make an impression on a buyer. When they're scrolling through photos online, you get 3 seconds to make an impression on them. And if something in their brain doesn't tell them that, hey, this is a nice looking photo, this is a nice looking house, they're not going to want to come see your house. So we ensure that our photos are 10 out of 10s, best of the best. And you can go on our website and look at all of our listings right now too, which we use. We post all of our listings to our site. And you'll be able to see all the photography with those listings. So on the left, very nice photo, iPhone X during the daytime, but then a twilight photo on the right from our photographers. It really pops. And imagine looking at 20 homes online and you see this picture on the right. It's really it's gonna stop your eye. You're gonna notice this picture. It's really a really strong picture. All right, we definitely embrace social media. Even 5 years ago, social media wasn't as important, but today everybody is living on social media, and it's become a great platform for advertising our real estate and our listings. We have a professional social media marketer that works for us that runs our social media campaigns. So we're actually putting it, and this comes back to the proactive marketing approach. We're putting your house on the social platforms that everyone are using, and we're able to pick who we target and who we market to. And Facebook got sued, you'll probably remember, a few months ago from collecting data and privacy laws and stuff like that. We're a little limited with what we're able to do since that, but we're still able to pick out demographics, location, and really look at it on a micro level, which I'll show you. I think it's in the next slide. We market on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, all over Google, of course, and then Nextdoor, which crosses over from the digital media marketing, our number 2 leg, basically, or spoke. And because this is actually a social platform, but it's also a digital platform. People really use Nextdoor. So I'd encourage you to go check it out and see for yourself if you're not familiar with it. Big difference, and again, this is a proactive approach, is that anybody can go on and boost a post on Facebook. And what they do basically is they pay a little bit of money, they boost it to a 25-mile radius between all age groups. The problem with this is that this is going out to renters, it's going out to students, it's going out to, you know, people who can't afford your house, people who don't have jobs. This is hitting every social platform of every person in that 25-mile radius, which doesn't do us any good. So what we actually do is we break it down to people who can afford your house in the areas that they're going to be coming from. And we're able to like literally, it's crazy what we can do. We can break it down to household income. We can put it on all parents' Facebook feeds. We can find out if somebody's a homeowner. We can find out if somebody is on Zillow, if they like Zillow. We can market to people who have recently looked at properties. So really strong stuff, but we're not going to send it out to the whole universe. We want to make sure we send it to the right people. And then retargeting. So the best way I can put this is anybody who comes onto our website to look at homes has a pixel on Facebook, and then on Google they have another tracking device. But we're able to track that around the internet unless they clear their history and their cookies. We're able to continuously market your home to them even when they leave our site. So really strong. It's like Amazon when you look at a pair of shoes and then all of a sudden you go over to, it's called homedepot.com. Maybe you're looking at vanities or something like that. And then the pair of shoes shows up. That's remarketing. And we're able to do the same thing with your house and with everybody who visits our website. But one of the big things I'm a huge fan of, and I push for every listing because it works, is our Coming Soon campaign. And this is to build exposure and build demand. It's similar to when a brand new movie is coming out and they run commercials for it a couple weeks leading up to it, and then it opens at midnight and then everyone just floods in to see the movie, the premiere. It's the same thing with your house. And so what I recommend is we list homes Thursday afternoon. We hold 2 open houses on Saturday and Sunday. And for the leading up the 3 to 4 weeks, or as much time as you can give us, we're going to be able to run Coming Soon marketing campaigns to all the people out there looking for homes. And what this means is you're not actually on the MLS, but you're on Zillow, you're on Realtor.com, you're on Trulia, you're on Facebook, you're on our website, you're on Instagram. All of these sites, tons of people are looking. And if somebody is interested in your house and they want to see it early, it's completely up to you. So you can say yes or no. You control the campaign. But when we go live, we've had such great success with this, and I really recommend that we're able to do this with you guys. We should run at least a 3-week Coming Soon campaign. All right, so how do we make your house number one? And when I say number one, it's number one on every single website. And it's number one when it hits the MLS. We want to be the best house in your price point, in your location, so that every buyer wants to come see your house. First, we of course have to get our listing paperwork done. We have to book our complimentary interior designer appointment. It's about an hour-long appointment. Some houses won't need this. I'll say that. Some are good to go, but others, I do recommend this. You have access to our whole book of contractors. So if you have repairs needed, you have an ice dam forming, we have people for that. We have trusted people that we've worked with before. So you don't have to spend time searching for those contractors online and sifting through reviews and all of that stuff. We get our professional photography done. We start preparing our marketing materials, which takes about 3 to 4 business days. We get you pre-launched, so we get you as Coming Soon. We send out your listing to our database. We do the mega mailer. We have a open house debut weekend, 12 to 2 on Saturdays, typically 2 to 4 on Sundays. These are the times where this is a study from Zillow that the most traffic on weekends happen between 12 and 2 on Saturdays and 2 and 4 on Sundays. And I don't know exactly why those times are, but I think it has a lot to do with the football schedules, honestly. College football plays earlier in the day, pro football finishes later in the day, and people don't, at least in Minnesota, they don't tend to go out looking at houses when the Vikings are playing or the Gophers are playing. It's kind of weird. I don't know. We start running our targeted Facebook ads, and then we, of course, do our broker blast too, so we let everybody know it's coming. One of the really cool things about us, this is proprietary. I created this system because of what Zillow's data told me. Zillow told me that 48% of listing agents do not answer their phone when they receive a signed call on their listing. And what that means is if somebody is sitting outside your house with their phone in their hand, calling your listing sign, over half of the time, the phone's not being answered. That's unacceptable. So I invite you to test this. You can call this number right now, or you can text it. And this is our listing sign. Between the hours of 8 a.m. and 10 p.m., we have a real human from our team in front of the computer on their phone. From 10 p.m. through the night, we have an automated text that goes out that says, thank you so much for your inquiry, but we're sleeping, and we will call you back as soon as possible when we awake the next day. And this will literally, I can broadcast this to multiple people on my team at once. I can send this to me and our executive staff. It ensures that we have a 100% response rate, which is huge for you because you're not missing any opportunities. And if you're interviewing other agents, I would highly suggest that you ask them if they have something like this set up, and then also test it. Please do test it. All right, I have a few success stories that I like to point out. If we want to talk about this in person, I'd be glad to. But for the sake of time, I think I'm running a little behind on my time, so I'm going to move forward. The number one problem that clients have with their agent is communication, and it comes down to uncertainty. What happens is that a period of time will go by and the agent will forget to update the clients. To me, that's unacceptable as well. So I went and I created a solution to that, which is an automated process of providing you feedback. So feedback will be automated. It's sent to you directly after showings. We send you marketing reports showing you how many hits you get on the various websites, how it's looking throughout the week. We tell you how many people came through the open house, how many private showings we had, how many offers we've received. The cool thing too with this report is you can see a deeper dive of marketing stats. We can show you the MLS showing report, and then we can show you everything that's active and pending in your price point that would be a competitor. So you will never have a problem with communication with us. And if we do, I do ask you, if for whatever reason you don't get this email, please let me know right away. It just means that there's a tweak that needs to happen in the code of the automation, and I can easily fix it. So please take me up on that and let me know if you don't receive it. I can send this to you, but this is the benefits of working with the Pemberton Homes team. We have a solar sign, listing sign that lights up at nighttime. So imagine driving down your street and seeing a lit up listing sign. Again, super easy to do, but a lot of people neglect it. They just use the regular old listing signs. We want to make sure that everybody knows about your house. That is the big thing. You're going to get a group of people who are highly experienced, who sell a lot of real estate, who put in a lot of time, and are proactive marketers. That's the big thing. And that's the reason why we were able to sell 99 of 100 houses last year. It's the same reason why we'll sell 149 of 150 listings this year. Actually, hopefully 150 of 150. But if somebody was perfect, I think that they would be lying. So, and we also operate in all price points, which is it's noteworthy. I mean, we work in the $1 million range. We work in the $50,000 range, the $100,000 range. We don't cut off or specialize in any one of those. The majority of our sales fall between 200,000 and 500,000 because of just the sheer amount of listings available. When you get above 500, the listing inventory is much smaller. But I really want you to know that this is Bernie. He's my Bernie's Mountain Dog. He's 4 years old, and I always like to include this at the end just to kind of lighten it up, because I just talked for like 20 some minutes about real estate marketing. So anyway, your business is really important to me. Please go over to our website and check this out. You can try calling our listing sign. If somebody picks up, you talk to talk to me or my agents, just say, hey, I'm just testing the listing sign. No big deal. Check out our website. Go on Zillow. Look at our reviews. We have over 300 reviews on Zillow. People who voluntarily went on Zillow and left us a review after working with us. I'm super proud of that too. Check us out on social media. We're really, really easy to find. So I hope you found this presentation beneficial. I very much look forward to getting to work for you. And the next step would be getting together in person and talking about pricing and strategy. So Have a fantastic day, evening. Thanks so much. Bye.